Good afternoon and welcome to Solent Sports News. I'm Ollie White and this is your 4pm news bulletin. England secured their place in next summer's Euro 2020 last night. Gareth Southgate's side thrashed Montenegro 7-0 to make their 1000th game in style, as a Harry Kane hat-trick saw him overtake Alan Shearer in the all-time goals list. However, the win was somewhat overshadowed in the second half. Liverpool's Joe Gomez was booed as he was subbed on. This comes after a training incident involving him and Raheem Sterling on Monday. Gareth Southgate ushered his sympathy for the players.
The whole thing was put to bed the other day. Joe had done absolutely nothing wrong. No England player should ever be booed when they're wearing the shirt, ever. You know, all of the players are particularly disappointed with that. I'm hugely disappointed for him.
Our football correspondent Max Colburn has the latest with the rest of the international football.
Czech Republic beat Kosovo 2-1 to secure their place in next year's finals in the other game in Group A, with Ondrej Čelutska securing all 3 points 10 minutes from time. Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 9th hat-trick for Portugal as they ran 6-0 winners over Lithuania in Group B. They remain 1 point clear of Serbia, who narrowly beat Luxembourg 3-2. Reigning world champions France came from behind to beat Moldova 2-1 as they secured top spot in Group H. Vadim Rata initially put the away side ahead on 9 minutes before 2 goals from Raphael Varane and Olivier Giroud in the second half rescued the 3 points. Elsewhere in the group, Turkey's 0-0 draw with Iceland means they take the final qualification spot in Group H. Meanwhile, Albania drew 2-2 with Andorra.
Southampton FC and Virgin Media are setting up a new initiatives to increase attendance at women's football matches. For the first 1,000 people who buy a ticket, Virgin will pay for them to have a free burger and a drink. The Saints play Bournemouth in the Hampshire Cup quarter-finals on Sunday. In the Premier League, Southampton FC have had a poor season so far, sitting second from bottom on only 8 points. Over to David Phillips now, who tried to discover the underlying issues at St Mary's.
Southampton in Europa. Southampton in Europa.
Leicester City have 9.
Life for Southampton fans has been a turbulent few years. 4 years ago, they were a formidable side playing Europa League football and finishing in the top half of the table. That seems like a distant memory for Saints fans, who are seeing their side in a relegation scrap for the 3rd season in a row.
I'm Matt Le Tissier.
Southampton legend Le Tissier scored 161 goals in 443 appearances for the Saints. He believes that multiple issues are the cause for the club's struggles this year, and confidence is one of them.
There seems to be a lack of confidence throughout the side. I think the goalkeeper and the defence situation is probably the biggest aspect of disappointment at the moment. I think we just look like we're going to concede goals.
Le Tissier isn't the only ex-player who is unimpressed by their former club's start to the season.
I'm Franny Benali.
Although poor recruitment by Saints has been a problem for the club, Benali feels that internal issues on the south coast have also affected them.
You could look at also the recruitment of certain players in recent times hasn't been where it has been in the past, maybe even what's coming through our own system within the ranks, and it's probably a number of those factors all put in the pot together which is ultimately finding ourselves in the position we are at the moment.
Despite some fans' unrest about the current manager, fans and experts alike don't think sacking a 3rd manager in 2 years is the right way forward. Ralph Hasenhüttl was brought in after the board lost faith in Mark Hughes and Maurizio Pellegrino.
My name's Adam Leach. I'm the chief sports writer at the Southern Daily Echo. What is going on here? You can't just keep on continually churning managers and just sacking a manager every year. At some point you have to say, well, is it that the players are to blame, or is it that the people above them who have signed them are to blame?
With difficult results coming thick and fast for the club, supporters continue to be frustrated.
I don't know where to start. Hasenhüttl, he doesn't know what he's doing.
I think right now the fans are getting on the team's backs because we're not getting the results that we want.
I think there's a lack of transfer funds going into the team.
Danny Ings is the only player we've got that can do anything.
Well, so I blame management. Losing 9-0.
Football at the end of the day is a results business, and unfortunately I just don't think our manager knows what to do.
Even though Saints have struggled to hit their peak this season, Benali is backing the club to change their fortunes.
There's still time to turn things around. I think sticking together. I've experienced as a player many years ago, that strength and that unity and togetherness on every level, from the playing side, coaches, staff at the club, supporters. It's almost like we had a mentality of we will get out of this and we'll stick together to take the world on.
Letitia added he would rather take the 9-0 loss against Leicester than to have lost to their closest rivals, Portsmouth, in the Cup.
No, I think I'd have still taken beating Portsmouth 4-0 and getting chinned, because at the end of the day, yes, it's damaged our goal difference, but we lost 3 points.
Fans and players alike will hope the international break gives Southampton a chance to revive their season.
To tennis now, and our correspondent George Hoy has the updates from the season-ending ATP finals.
Ollie, thank you. Roger Federer produced a scintillating display last night to beat Novak Djokovic in straight sets at the O2 in London. The Swiss's 6-4, 6-3 victory means he is through to the semi-finals, joining Dominic Thiem, who has already qualified after victories over both Federer and Djokovic earlier in the week. Defeat for Djokovic also means that Rafael Nadal will finish the season as the world number one, the oldest man to achieve that feat at 33 years of age. Today marks the conclusion of the group stages at the tournament. Nadal faces Stefanos Tsitsipas, who has already qualified for the semi-finals. Nadal has to beat Tsitsipas and hope that Alexander Zverev loses his final rubber against Daniil Medvedev in order to advance through the group. If Zverev beats Medvedev, he will qualify for the last four, as he beat Nadal in their rubber earlier in the week. Back to you, Ollie.
Thank you very much, George. A popular sports facility in Eastleigh is giving local people a say on what they want to see happen in the near future. The Hub, which is co-owned by Eastleigh Borough Council and Charity Youth Options, provides vast opportunities and facilities for clubs and the community to play their favourite sports. I'm here with Tom Greaves from Youth Options on the line. So, you're giving the local people a say on what they want to see from the Hub. What are you hoping to achieve from this?
So, yeah, we definitely have a busy centre as it is, but there's certain slots in the day where we're trying to encourage more of the community to get involved and sort of use the facility. We're very accessible. We're close to Southampton. We're very close to Eastleigh, obviously. So we're just trying to sort of put a feeler out there to see, what the community want as a whole.
It's a very popular place for young people, especially. How important is it for them that this sort of facility is available to them?
So a lot of what we do is based on youth work. I control the sport and physical activity side of it. So the charity Youth Options is all about young people trying to provide opportunities to develop their social and emotional skills. But as a whole, I'd like to get all sorts of demographics involved. Eastleigh and Bishopstoke has an ageing population, but has plenty of families and young people involved. So trying to get the whole range of the community involved with sport as much as possible.
The facility is jointly funded by the council and yourselves. Is this quite a common trend now, as councils struggle to find the funds to pay for these facilities normally by themselves?
So the council oversee the building and we operate the building, so we staff it. The Eastleigh Borough Council look after the building. Basically, we have the all-weather pitch, the tennis courts, the rugby pitches. Obviously, Eastleigh Rugby Club is a huge club locally, so it is quite a common situation now that local councils will work with not-for-profit organisations such as Youth Options to operate facilities. It sort of ticks off boxes for both parties.
Solent Kestrel's basketball team have started the season undefeated in their new £29 million home. James Walker reports.
From playing their games in an old army drill hall last year, the team's new home is at the heart of Solent University's £29 million sports complex. That's the buzzer on Solent Kestrel's latest win, as the basketball team have maintained their strong start to the season. Following the opening of the new sports complex, the boys are hoping the new facility can continue to improve their performances. After an unbeaten start to the season, Kestrel's manager Sylvain Dunno is pleased with the facilities but urges fans to come and support his side.
The facilities are fantastic, helps obviously, but let's say it's a part of it. We need to pack it up a little bit more and bring some more people, because when we go away we've got like a full house, so we've got the facility now, let's bring the students.
After the game, the match official commended the court and was impressed with the performance of the Solent team.
My name's Tim Brown, I was the crew chief referee today. I've been in this game a long time and I've been refereeing a long time, 25, 30 years, and everybody that comes here says it's a fantastic venue. It's a real pleasure to play here and it's a real pleasure to referee here. It's one of the best courts in the country and I love it. Yeah, I think it helped Solent definitely, because I think they played their better ball today when they were playing the running game and got motivated and the crowd got behind them.
Not only the referee praised the court, Solent baller James Horrell counts himself and his teammates lucky to have such high quality facilities and is loving his new home.
I think that it's good because the atmosphere that we get from the crowd, being able to be onto a court which only 3 other places have in the country, it just brings up motivational levels. So everyone gets here, everyone wants to play as hard as they can, wants to play for the team, which brings the level of competition up. I think now that the facilities are now here, people prefer to come and watch because they have a stand here, they have food and coffee in the hallway. Obviously it's got really good streaming facilities too now, so it makes it better for viewing everyone.
The team go into their next game this Saturday against Reading Rockets, high in confidence, and have beaten the likes of Worthing Thunder and Westminster Warriors in their domestic Saturday league as well. They still face away trips to the likes of Thames Valley Cavaliers and Bradford Dragons, but will go into those games in fine form as they look to capitalise on their impressive league run.
Former England cricket captain Sir Alistair Cook has urged the ECB to make the most of last summer's success. The 50-over side won a thrilling World Cup final against New Zealand at Lords, with Ben Stokes rescuing a third Ashes Test win in dramatic fashion at Headingley. Cook feels they need to make the most of a unique opportunity.
After the World Cup final, the week after, 7,000 more people applied to play for kids. This is like an all-stars thing, kids from age 5 to 8. So you can see the effect of that. And obviously the Ashes, I think the cricket, the Ben Stokes heroics at Headingley was equally just amazing as well.
The Formula One calendar has seen a rapid expansion in recent years. However, has this expansion come at a cost? Rob Lomas has more.
Stayed there, and Damon Hill exits the chicane and wins the Japanese Grand Prix. And I've got to stop because I've got a lump in my throat.
Car number 44 has really been the number one once again. He comes home to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Formula One. Gone are the days when there was a relatively stable calendar and just 16 races a season in the 1990s. Globalisation means that today's calendar looks a lot different, even from 15 years ago. But are the fans happy with the way the calendar has expanded, or has a saturation point been reached?
From being a fan of the sport from young, when there wasn't as many races, I'm relishing the opportunity of being able to see more and more F1 races being introduced.
I think that it's a good idea to have it in lots of different countries and for there to be lots of races. I think it's good from an entertainment point of view.
It means the season will be longer and therefore more room for excitement and drama. Plus it's only one race more than the current season, so fans won't notice a big difference anyway.
The 2004 calendar ended on the 24th of October, whereas the 2020 season would still have another 4 races to go, with a round at Circuit of the Americas being on the 25th of the same month. Potentially Formula E could be a positive example of expanding a calendar in the right way. Audi team principal Alan McNish feels like taking baby steps would be the right way of expanding a motorsport calendar.
I would say overall though, we kind of generally agree that the number of races is about right at the moment. The championship's got to grow and evolve, but it's got to grow and evolve at the right time, and cost control is part of that discussion as well, again, because the calendar's a big influence on that.
His counterpart at Mercedes, Ian James, also spoke about the subject and thinks that Formula E's calendar has presented some of its own unique challenges.
It's a tough season. It's the races, you know, if you look at the calendar and you might think that 14 races isn't maybe a huge amount compared with other series, but when you combine that with the number of test days and the time that you're going to be away for the test days, it's a challenge.
It seems as if this might be something to keep an eye on as the years progress.
Exeter Chiefs are looking to create their own domestic women's rugby team. The men's 15 have reached the last 4 Premiership finals, so they'll be looking for the same success from the women's team. The Chiefs' home ground, Sandy Park, hosts England and France this weekend. The club will be hoping the fixture draws more women's players towards the southwest. Boxing might be set to get a boost in popularity this week following last week's big event. YouTubers KSI and Logan Paul faced off at the Staples Centre, watched by millions worldwide. James Taylor is investigating what this fight means to the future of boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
The famous voice of Michael Buffer has for many years shaped the love for boxing all across the world. History records show that boxing dates back as early as 1681. The sport was soon picked up by ancient Greece and became a well-loved and developed sport enjoyed by the people. Fast forward to today.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Oh my god, I'm black.
Did you know that was gonna shatter?
Bro, I didn't know plastic shatters like glass. Sorry, bro!
2 internet sensations have seemed to have stolen the boxing limelight. Last weekend, YouTubers KSI and Logan Paul fought in Los Angeles in the biggest pay-per-view event of the year.
To the winner by split decision from the United Kingdom, the Nightmare.
But why did this event take place?
Through promotions and pay-per-view, fighters can make a ridiculous amount of money.
That's the voice of Danny Ryan, head of boxing at Give Me Sport. He believes it was a no-brainer for Eddie Hearn to promote the fight.
KSI and Logan are 2 huge personalities, and through that they were able to generate an enormous viewership. As such, a huge viewership like that was always going to equal money, and Eddie Hearn spotted a goldmine. It was just genius marketing in the end.
The first bout between the pair saw them sell 1.3 million pay-per-views on YouTube. Their most recent fight had more pay-per-views than AJ's shock defeat to Andy Ruiz Jr. It's evident that the fight brought a huge amount of views and money, but did the quality of the KSI and Logan Paul fight live up to the hype?
Hello, this is Jeremy Harridges, lead boxing contributor for Fansided.com. They were big, athletic guys. They did train. They were in shape. But when the fight ultimately happened, what we saw was a pretty poor display of boxing.
Core supporters of the sport were upset by what was on show at the Staples Centre, and it wasn't a great reflection on boxing. People like Stuart Gill, director of Golden Ring Boxing, would go as far to say that the event was an embarrassment.
You had Billy Joe Saunders as on the undercard. You know, I'd have told him to stick it. I would have said, no, I ain't got fighting on the undercard of that. You know, on the main event, that's all there is to it. You know, there's professional fighters that are training all the time to try and put food on the tables for their families.
However, despite the backlash from boxing purists, with a combined 40 million subscribers on YouTube, the pair have certainly brought attention of youngsters to the sport.
Lots of kids that are watching, that like the YouTube stuff, might end up in the gym.
With this fight, people saw what they expected. It brought a new generation to boxing. Are they going to stay there? Only time will tell.
Whilst the event's legacy is unclear, one thing is for sure, the fight has made a real statement on the world of entertainment and boxing.
There was a huge brawl in the NFL last night. Cleveland Browns player Myles Garrett attacked Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph with his own helmet and is set to face a lengthy ban. Cleveland quarterback Baker Mayfield said the incident was embarrassing and completely unacceptable.
I don't care, rivalry or not, we can't do that. That's just endangering the other team. It's inexcusable. He knows that. I hope he does now. It's tough. The reality is he's going to get suspended. We don't know how long, and that hurts our team. It's inexcusable.
The Grand Slam of Darts is getting to the business end of the competition. Gerwyn Price has set up a tantalising quarter-final with 2-time world champion Gary Anderson. Current world champion Michael van Gerwen plays jackpot Adrian Lewis after they beat Ian White and James Wade respectively. That's all from us now. Have a good weekend. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website solentjournalism.co.uk. Good night.